On the Waterfront won 8 awards, the largest number accumulated by any picture since Gone with the Wind. Not a bad picture. Waterfront brought its star Marlon Brando, its director Elia Kazan, its author Bud Schulberg, its cinematographer Boris Kaufman, its editor Gene Milford, art director Richard Day, as well as Eva Marie Saint, all won Academy Awards.
I said to Bud Schulberg, I said, that thing just broke up. He said, I've been working on a story about the waterfront for a long time. And he had these articles by Johnson and so forth, and he let me read the script, and I thought the script could be helped, and we worked on the script together. It was a great experience all along. I used to hang out in Hoboken, but not like Bud did. Bud was there all the time. Bud lived there. I mean, it was a great, great writing experience for me to watch him put that film together. Bud was great. He never stopped work. He never stopped work. And I said to him, this is just the thing for Zanuck. This is right down Zanuck's line. He loves violent stories about big cities and so forth. And I showed it to Zanuck, and he said, make some suggestions, and he did. And then one day he called us into his office and said, I'm not going to do this. I don't like it. In came a terrible, terrible guy that I'm not very fond of now, named Sam Spiegel, and he was down on his uppers. He was broke. He had trouble. He needed something that paid him producer expenses and so forth, but he also needed something to do. And Bud came into my office. We were also in the same hotel. Fox was still paying our expenses, and Bud said he's going to do it. I said, no, you're kidding. He said, no, he's going to do it. He means it. So then we spoke to Sam and said, I'm going to do it right away. He said, let's go to New York. So we went to New York. Well, Sam drove Schulberg crazy. And Bud was great. He never stopped. And between them, they worked like hell. And I think, although they had a lot of antagonisms, I tell the thing in my book, but I'll tell it again too. One night, Bud was living in the country in Pennsylvania, and one night his wife woke up about 3:30 in the morning and looked in the bathroom, and Bud was shaving. And she said, Bud, what the hell are you shaving for at 3:30 in the morning? He said, I'm going to New York. She said, what are you going to New York for? I said, I'm going to New York to kill Sam Spiegel. He was that mad at him, you know. He did go to New York, but he never killed Sam Spiegel.
I really got to do On the Waterfront because of a thing I did on television called Marty. Kazan heard about it. He said, well, you go read with Bud Schulberg the taxi scene in this thing called On the Waterfront because Schulberg wrote it, and if he likes you, you can play Marlon Brando's brother.
You don't mean that you're thinking of testifying against some people that we might know?
I don't know, Charlie. I mean, I'm telling you, I don't know, Charlie. That's what I want to talk to you about.
Listen, Terry, you know how much those peers are worth that we...
Before we get to where, Charlie?
Terry, take the job. Just take it. No questions, take it.
You don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody.
Got to ask you though, were you surprised that you won the Oscar for the screenwriting that year? Was that a...
Yeah, Kazan and I were amazed. All the more reason being that that movie was such an orphan in Hollywood. No one. I saw Kazan just before he died, and I won a piece for this Scottish paper of all things. Seeing talking with Kazan, when we were trying to make that movie, everybody turned it down. Everybody. I mean, you can't name a studio with Paramount, Warner Brothers, 20th Century Fox, Columbia, MGM. There was no studio that would do it. And they not only turned it down, but insult. I mean, say, why do you want to do this thing? They would bawl Kazan out, as Zanuck did. He bawled him out. He said, I was in the office with him when he turned it down. He said, Gad, I think you're a great talent, but there's something wrong with you. He said, why do you want to do these crazy movies? He said, first you bring me Viva Zapata. Nobody wants to see Viva Zapata. Who cares about a goddamn Mexican, whatever he is? And then you bring me this, he said. Honest to God, he just chewed him out. And that's the way it was everywhere we went. So finally getting it made really on a shoestring. We made it for about $800,000, and they had to shoot it fast in 35 days. Now they want 80 days or more to make a movie. And the fact that we were so scorned for doing it, and that was so hard, made it very much an uphill. And we thought it's almost like an anti-Hollywood project, independent Eastern, that we couldn't win it. But we did want to win it. We really wanted to win it as a weapon on the side of independent films Eastern films with a social point of view, because they're so hard to make. So in that way, yes, we were surprised and pleased, but we were still so defiant, and we were so really, if you pardon this expression, we were still so pissed off about this that after the awards are given out formally, there's a governor's ball at which, as you see, all the stars come in the press, and it's a big showing. And Kazan and I refused to go to the governor's ball. That we were still mad, and instead we hired a back room of a Chinese restaurant and held our own, just to kind of really, just to stick it to them. We're still mad. When I saw Kazan just before he died, which was last month, I saw him just a short time before he died, and almost the first thing he said to me, he said, "Bud, remember," he said, "Zanuck wouldn't give a shit." He's still, Kazan, 50 years later, is still, it's almost like the last thing he ever said. He's still mad. It was a maddening experience. It really was.
Well, congratulations. My God.
So that was our feeling when we won it. We were not in the best state of mind. We were not very gracious winners, believe me. We weren't. It didn't win us stuff. We were so mad at Zanuck and all these people. They had tortured us, and I had gone I really gone broke over it. I had to mortgage my farm. I was doing it on spec. We weren't getting any money for it, and it looked like a lost cause. That's what's so strange. Now everywhere I go, people, that's one of the greatest movies of all time. And,
that's right.
And I think back and I say, yeah, boy, I wish you could have told Zanuck that.
Right, exactly.